But the modern, or the Victorian version, has just been unveiled to its former beautiful Victorian beauty. There's a building there on the left-hand side attached to the bridge there. It's above a railway station called Charing Cross. Nothing to do with the station, but the building in Bagwell Place is supposed to look like a train coming through a tunnel. Personally, I think it looks more like a toaster. Many people say it looks like a jukebox.
Look.
My colleague says it looks like Batman's head. Now, should you so wish, you can walk your entire journey. And do it on the right-hand side. You start here at the South Bank Centre. This is a wonderful place to begin. On the right-hand side here, you've got the Royal Festival Hall. That's a world-class concert hall, also home to the London Philharmonic Orchestra. And it's the oldest of the buildings that we're looking at. This is from 1951, when the Festival of Britain was held here. All these yellow flags are temporary. They are just here to mark the fact that we've got something called Project Mourinho, which is to do with the Brazilian projects. Everything Brazilian, dance, theatre and music is all going on here in all of these buildings in the next couple of weeks. Due to end up leave at the end of August. Underneath the very last arch of this bridge ahead of us, you've got the entrance to the British Film Institute. You've got the orange and green signs there, just to give you a clue. And the bridge that leads into the South Bank, this bridge ahead of us, is the Waterloo Bridge. But this bridge, still affectionately remembered as the Ladies' Bridge, known as the Ladies' Bridge, as it was mainly built by a workforce of women during the Second World War. Built by women, it should be no surprise that this bridge is actually a self-cleaning bridge. And in fact washes itself. Look at the sides here where the water hits the bridge and cleans it, and then if you compare that with underneath, this is where the rain doesn't get to and it stays a good deal more dirty.
Oh!
Now, continuing in the South Bank here to the right, you've got something called electronic advertising. That's not the National Theatre. Now, maybe not the most attractive building on the river. Prince Charles, when he saw it for the first time when it opened in '76, described it as like a nuclear power station. But it is a fabulous place to consider, especially if you like live theatre. The standards of performance and production are very, very high. The tickets do start from as little as £10 a seat, so it's very, very good value. Another place of entertainment is just ahead of you on the right, this tall tower block and the complex of buildings coming down to the river. They're the London studios, and if you live here in this country especially, you'll be familiar, I think, with some of the television programmes that are broadcast from here. You've got programmes like London Today, London Tonight, GMTV, Have I Got News For You? This is where Parkinson came from, it's where the X Factor finals come from. This is where you get Loose Women, sadly only the television programme. The Sunday Night Project comes from here. Anton Deck's Saturday Night Takeaway. Harry Hill's show, the Jeremy Kyle show comes from here. All-Star Family Fortunes. All different styles of programmes broadcast and made here. The low white building that's just about to come to view on the right-hand side behind the yellow and blue ice cream van. The 4 blacked-out windows there, the studios of This Morning, a popular daytime television programme. And if you've seen that, you'll know that they do film out to the river. And this is the very part of the river that you very often see in the background.
Amen.
Just ahead of that, on the right-hand side, you've got a red brick building with a grey tower on it, letters on it, OXO. Unsurprisingly, that is known as the OXO Tower building. This was once a meat production warehouse responsible for giving us the very popular OXO stock cube. Now that stock cube is still very much made and used throughout kitchens up and down the country, but no longer here. Inside this building now, you've got affordable housing for core workers here in London. You've got gathering shops at the bottom, but it's really this building best known for the restaurant. It sits on top of the roof behind the glass. It's owned by Harvey Nichols, the famous Harrods rival, and the food is fabulous. And the views are equally lovely as well. I would recommend it. It is a little bit expensive, but certainly worth considering for a special occasion. Very high quality of food. As we come up to the next bridges, look to the left and beyond the bridges, you've got the wonderful image of the church and dome of St Paul's Cathedral. One of the finest cathedrals anywhere in the world. And this one is celebrating its 300th anniversary. It was completed in 1710. So this year, 2010, 300 years old. Plenty of celebrations planned for that later in the year. The building was designed by one of London's most prolific architects, Sir Christopher Wren. The man who rebuilt much of London after the Great Fire of 1666. Indeed, there was a church here that was burnt down in that fire, and it took Wren 35 years to construct this one. Stands here at Ludgate Hill, which has been a religious site. There have been churches here since the 7th century, so an awfully long time. And this one stands at 365 feet high. That represents 1 foot for every day of the week. It's in there that the funeral took place at Winston Churchill, although maybe I should add he's not actually buried here. But it is where Prince Charles very famously married the lady Diana Spencer in 1981. Estimated 700
megmondjuk, jó?
people around the world tuned in,
Semmi baj.
which is staggering if you stop to think about it. We are coming to the Blackfriars Bridges, and these bridges are all Victorian. This first one, Queen Victoria opened, and she was very happy to open the bridge, as she had personally had a hand in the partial design of the bridge. It's a road bridge, it's a pedestrian bridge, ahead of us is the current railway bridge between the two. They're all remain at the London, Chatham and Dover Railway. There's a bridge called the very first steam trains across the Thames, way back in the 1800s. In the distance, over to the left there, you can see all these tall skyscrapers, which are very much in the city of London. The first one nearest to us, just by the first white crane there, that's Tower 42, formerly the NatWest Tower. And then next to it, the one in the middle there, that's the most famous. It looks somewhat like a rocket. Grey-green colour. That is called the Gherkin. Well, that's what London is called. It's not its real name, it never was. But they called the Swiss Re Insurance Tower, named after the Swiss insurance company who had it built. And they're still there, but not owned by them anymore. Just here to the right-hand side, you've got a big brown brick building with a 325-foot chimney to the side. This is the Tate Modern Art Gallery. It's got an international collection inside of modern art from 1900 through to the present day. It is free to enter, so there's nothing to stop you going there. And it is the world's top visited modern art gallery. And it is indeed in the top 10 visited art galleries anywhere in the world. Always changing their exhibitions here. So even if you've been in the last couple of years, go in again. I'm sure you'll find something new and different. As we come underneath this next bridge, which I'll tell you more about later, look to the left. You do get a very fine view, albeit brief, of the south side of St Paul's Cathedral. So let's go back to the right-hand side, and there's a white round building with a factory behind the trees, and it's flying the red and white flag. It's Shakespeare's Globe Theatre. And whenever you see this flag flying, it does indicate that productions are taking place. Now, this reproduction in the 1990s is very similar to the original that stood very close by over 400 years ago. And the original only would show Shakespeare's plays during the summer months, because just like this reproduction, it is open air. It's the only thatch roof we have here in London, which is pretty surprising. Thatch was banned after the fire of London for the obvious fire risks, and so special permission had to be bought for this one, or sought, I should say, for this one that we see. Now the original Globe Theatre stood just ahead of you on the right hand side, just beyond this bridge, lies a brown glass building, the letters FT standing for Financial Times, And it's just behind those buildings that if you walk past there, you will find many boards and little notice areas telling you about the history of the Globe Theatre. The whole area of Southwark here on the right, 400 years ago, was a pretty rough place to be. Apart from the theatres, you would have had drinking, gambling, prostitution, dogfighting, the horrible sports, bear racing, all going on here in Southwark. Now, very few of those old pubs associated with Southwark at that time survive, but we've got a nice one here on the right-hand side with red windows. Now, this is a pub actually rebuilt in the 18th century, in the 1770s. It was called the Anchor. There have been pubs on this site for over 500 years. Now, that building, as I say, from the 1770s, has been used in several films. You saw the first Mission Impossible film. You might remember seeing Tom Cruise at the very end of that film coming out of this pub, holding a pint of lager. Actually, given that it was Tom Cruise, they did only give him a half pint. Just over here on the right hand side, if you've got something in the bird's eye, then you may well be able to shoot this yellow striped black hole with the yellow gold stripes. It's called the Golden Hind. The Golden Hind is a replica that was built in Appledore in Devon in 1970.